Peace, guys. Patrick, conservative rap, and it is a wrap. It's over for the deep state. It's over for their narrative. Everything they've been putting together over the last 6, 7 years about Trump and everything they've been doing to us as a population from the mind control perspective over the last 6 to 7 decades is done. As you and I both know, it's an information war, and they've already lost total control. The shills on social media have been debunked. The attempt to divide MAGA most recently has been debunked. And Trump really beat them at their game, and it's time to expose them. Remember, this is more than just another 4-year election. It's more than just the executive orders. It's about exposing the blackmail system, exposing the deep state, how they finance things, and shutting down their whole operation. It started with the autists from Elon's Doge, and now we're getting into slowly with some of the Epstein stuff, the real blackmail to the hoaxes, the Russia collusion, the Alpha Bank hoaxes, the human trafficking, the Federal Reserve System. It's a mafia, and they're all connected. They won't be able to argue their way out of it because the pace that we're moving has them introducing like counter narratives, and they end up getting trapped each time. They can't say that it's a glitch because it's going to be so many instances of the BS. So he's starting with the grand jury testimony, as you're probably aware, Ghislaine Maxwell, Virginia Gunfrey, but this won't be everything. It'll be the beginning phase. Remember, it's a sting operation, so you want to get your enemy in a position they can't escape from with insurmountable evidence. Let's take a look at Mays on Truth. And we'll get into some examples. Boom, boom, bang. Mays, 2000.
Wait a minute.
2021, Cooper harshly criticized MJT for spreading conspiracy theories about prominent Democrats, including him being involved with Epstein. Now Cooper is spreading conspiracy theories about Trump's involvement with Epstein. Isn't this fun?
So I have not heard her publicly say, you know what, I no longer believe that Anderson Cooper and, Tom Hanks and all these people and all these Democratic leaders, I no longer believe that they're Satanists and blood drinkers and pedophiles. I no longer believe that they're on a phony manifest. They believe that, there's belief out there that by QAnon people that there's this, cabal of people drinking the blood of children, and it's based on anti-Semitic tropes. You say she behind closed doors disavowed that? Come on. I mean, Mike, you would not want to sit next to this person in public, would you? It's not exactly outlandish to wonder about the president's connections with Epstein, given that they've crossed paths and shared moments many times over the years, both in New York and Mar-a-Lago circles. The Epstein case's pivotal moments, including Epstein's death in jail in 2019, happened during the first Trump administration. So even if everything to do with the president, both in office and before, are all completely innocent and above board, as they very well may be, the connections themselves are still there.
Bullshit. All right, and now let's go on to Storm has arrived. When Adam Schiff starts calling for Trump to release the Epstein files, something is obviously up. Trump knows what he's doing, and this is 8 minutes long. I'm not going to read it, but just about that letter that came out, this is the big bombshell story from WSJ. It's so painfully unbelievable. Even Trump's #1 hater, Elon, is calling it out for being hot garbage. Anyone buying this Wall Street Journal story probably also think that Trump conspired with Russia and Joe Biden is sharp as a tack. The letter sounds bogus. It really doesn't sound like something Trump would say, to be honest. And moving on to Trump, just on the same subject. All right, here we go. More on the article. This article is actually a GIF. Unsubstantiated garbage published by a Never Trump news organization claiming to have some smoking gun about ties between the president and Epstein is precisely the sort of bad faith coverage the president can use as a lifeline. Hopefully the administration will mock the ish out of this rather than express outrage or try to debunk it. And just moving on to Trump, here he goes. The Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch personally were warned by me, and the supposed letter they printed by Trump to Epstein was fake, and if they print it, they'll be sued. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Levitt and Trump that the letter was a fake, but Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they are going with a false, malicious, defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Murdoch shortly. The press has to learn to be truthful and not rely on sources that probably don't even exist. President Trump has already beaten Stephanopoulos, ABC, 60 Minutes, CBS, and others, and looks forward to suing and holding accountable the once great Wall Street Journal. It's truly turned out to be a disgusting and filthy rag writing defamatory stories like this. Shows their desperation to remain relevant. If there any truth at all on the Epstein hoax as it pertains to Trump, here we go. This information would have been revealed by Comey, Brennan, Crooked Hillary, and radical left lunatics years ago. Certainly would not have sat in a file waiting for Trump to have won 3 elections. This is yet another example of fake news. And let's keep it moving here. Here's that actual clip. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Back to X. Just on the health initiative, RFK cleaning up pharma. HHS Secretary RFK announces the Trump administration has rejected U.S. participation in the WHO, World Health Organization's IHR regulations and pandemic response measures. So if they try to run another pandemic game, the U.S. is not going to be a part of it. And you're going to have our country disproving any of the narratives. It'll be hard to get it off the ground without the U.S. being a part of the nonsense, basically. Nations who accept the new regulations are signing over their power in health emergencies to unelected international organization that could order lockdowns, travel restrictions, or other measures it sees fit. And thanks to RFK for initiating that. Americans who know we need a better healthcare system to properly serve our great communities that were abandoned by the radical left Democrats. This is why Republicans included a $50 billion in the One Big Beautiful Bill to strengthen our most vulnerable hospitals, including those in rural areas. But every Democrat voted against this funding. I want to thank all of the Republicans in Congress who worked incredibly hard to make this achievement possible. Our nation thanks you. And just on the Trump Epstein issue again, Trump's popularity among Republicans has soared during the Epstein controversy. Let's take a look. Take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this one surprised me a bit because of all these complaints online going after Trump and the Epstein files. You might think his approval ratings were going down, Republicans. If anything, they're going up. Republicans who approve of Trump, look at our CNN poll. The prior one, 86%. The one out this week, 88% were Republicans. How about Quinnipiac? The prior poll, 87% approve of Republicans. This week out, 90% were Republicans. If anything, Donald Trump's approval rating has gone up since this whole Epstein saga started. He is at the apex or close there too in terms of his popularity with Republican voters, Epstein files, complaints, or not.
Fire. And moving on, Karma Patriot on Truth. I'd suggest giving her a follow. Actually makes a really good point. I'm going to go over to her post here. I rest my case. The executive branch is building criminal files. So I hope they're watching, and I hope they're frightened, and I hope they getting their affairs in order, hiring their liberal attorneys to defend them, start shuffling their money around while we'll find it. Mr. Howell, are you aware that ongoing right now in our country, the DHS, ICE, FBI, local and state law enforcement agencies are working on classified operations to locate, find, and rescue trafficked tender age, mostly girls. We're talking about 14 and younger across the country that were trafficked into our country in 2021, 2022, 2023, and 24. Are you aware that those operations are going on? Yes, sir. They're trying to find the children that the Biden administration lost. So more truth coming out. And just lastly, on the whole health issue with chronic vein disease, cynical Publius put this out. I agree with him. I wonder how many people know that the scary term chronic vein insufficiency just basically means varicose veins in an old person. Like that time you were 8 and your grandma didn't wear her support stockings. It's not a big deal, people. People get old. And lastly, this letter by the physician goes into depth on the vein issue. Summary, President Trump remains in excellent health. This is what they do. They overemphasize and exaggerate anything they can to distort the MAGA base. And it's starting to get old. People are starting to wake up. And I think we all know how exactly fake the news is and the position we're in to take this country back. What do you think? Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.